extra belt? Nobody carries an extra fucking belt. Josh, do you have an extra belt?
An extra belt? No.
How about the one I gave you? You didn't bring it. God,
I
you're
did not
worthless.
bring it.
Oh, yeah. We can be professional. I mean, I'm professional every day. Just wake up and piss X-rays.
Folks, we are here, the 1.9D show. Maybe we'll get into the history of where that came from now that we got you, Richard, here with us today. But we're here with Richard Weber and Dennis Alverson. Richard might not be as recognizable as he usually is. He's not in a red shirt. We are in Utah this weekend, and Richard has a knack for pissing people off, and he's rocked some boats and ruffled some feathers out here, so we're incognito. Richard, kind of a bull in a china shop.
Some might say.
Yeah. And on the other side, we got Dennis Alverson. In the open division, these two kind of compete a lot, and I kind of wanted to talk to you about you guys both pulled Jim Ryan. So in the sport of ski joring, I don't know if a lot of people understand that skiers are with different riders and being pulled with different horses and different teams, because we talk about these teams a lot. So I kind of wanted you two to just explain more between each other and how that all works and how Jim Ryan got shared between you and how the season's been going so far.
Why don't you start it off, Dennis?
Well, I'd like to say that we always struggle to find good skiers, and when we do find them, you kind of want to lay claim to them.
Yeah, they're
And I tried to lay claim to Jim, thinking that I might have been in contact with him first about ski joring, and I was corrected.
He was. Yeah, you know, because without new skiers and without good skiers, I mean, the sport will disappear. You know, and when you look at, you know, bringing new skiers into the sport, it is something that is so important, you know, and you know, you just have to keep bringing them in, and you have to throw the skiers in the sport division a bone once in a while so that they can have a chance to bump
I'll interrupt you here. You are known for vetting skiers at a different level than most competitors. So talk about that process a little, because you guys run deep. You have a deep roster. You have Kimber Cook. You have options of horses and divisions, and you know. Talk about Jim Ryan in Silverton. What was that, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, you know, I got one of my buddies, Michael Gardner, who unfortunately is not with us anymore. He was a great dude. But he actually put me in touch with Jim. And so I called Jim, started chatting with Jim, and, you know, little did I know that Jim was, you know, by far the most professional skier that's ever been in ski joring. And I started asking him all these questions and, you know, vetting him. And because, I mean, I have literally seen hundreds of skiers at the bar Friday night, like, no horse can dump me. I'm the best skier. Like, I don't care how fast your horse is. And we've seen it over and over and over. So, like, until these guys prove themselves, I'm not believing shit.
Yeah, they all just dropped the rope. That's the first common mistake.
Yeah, they drop the rope, they miss an easy gate, they drop the rings, they lose their ski because their binding isn't tight enough.
They don't understand the intensity of it.
They don't understand rope management, and
Right.
climbing and dumping rope, and
Yeah.
you know, not getting tangled up and clearing yourself. And
Yeah.
There's a learning curve, and you can come here as a professional skier, but there's still a certain amount of experience you need behind a horse.
Totally.
Oh yeah, well look at Jim the first year he was in Ridgeway. Last year.
Even before that.
Did he? Well, that was his first time on a round track though. But like, I don't know if he did pull checks. It wasn't very many.
Right.
He pulled checks day 2.
Yeah, day 2, nothing day
a few
1.
gates.
He missed gates. He dropped the rope, I think, twice.
Yeah.
Once behind Jed and once behind Janelle.
Which that was on the riders too. If you go back and look at the replay on where they were at.
Horse position.
Horse
is a
position.
big thing.
You know, but that going back to the skiers, you know, like they all say they're good, and until they prove it, like
Totally.
I start skiers behind my niece, you know, and at that time, Kimber was 14, and here's Jim, a 30-year-old professional, and I'm like, no, dude, you're not good enough for me. You have to ski behind my 14-year-old niece before I will even consider pulling
And he
you.
did lose that race to Jack Plants. Jack
did.
Plants won that race in Silverton that year.
Yeah, but
Yes, he did.
Jim proved himself, and it was like you watch that, and it's like, okay.
So what was it about Jim you saw and you were like, okay, we're going to take this guy to the next level? Because you went to Driggs that year.
Yeah, we went to Driggs that year. We went 1 through 1 through 4 in the overall, and on day money we missed 1 check. So out of the 12 checks that they gave out for the Open, we took 11. Him
Damn.
and I.
That's a sweep.
Where were you?
Well,
that
not quite.
race?
We missed 1.
I was coming off of an injury with
Yep.
Jet, and I was a little bit slower. And we were competing, and I was pulling him, but I didn't have the horsepower.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that race said a lot, but it's just you gotta vet the skiers. You gotta make sure they have what they can take.
I mean, there's a level of intensity when you start pulling professional skiers.
Right.
Their mindset is completely focused. They visualize it, they mentally rehearse what they're going to do. And when they go through that start line, they've already skied it in their own mind.
Yeah.
And that caliber of skier is out there, but
Is that caliber of skier new to ski? Have you guys pulled someone like that before where it's like that level of intensity is now, Jim Ryan comes in, he's dead sober all weekend. He is fully training physically, mentally, and emotionally all year. And now he's coming into Skijor. Have you seen that before in the sport?
I mean, well, I would say the landscape's changed in the last 4 years. It used to be a lot of barbecue, partying. We didn't really take it to that level. And now with these added money, the Cowboy Channel, what Josh has done with social media, we're getting just lots of attention.
Oh yeah.
And
tons.
we're drawing some very skilled athletes.
Totally.
And these guys, they show up and they want to win. They're not there just for a weekend. They're there to win it.
Yeah.
And that level of communication goes along with that skier. And your conversations that you have prior to the race, I mean, they're at a different level. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I've pulled very talented skiers.
Oh, of course, we all have.
I mean,
yeah.
all of the guys I've pulled, I'm just thankful for.
Yeah, we can't
Right.
down talk the guys that we've been pulling for the
No.
last
No,
5 years.
they're
No,
phenomenal.
totally.
Like,
I'm more talking.
totally.
Yeah, I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
there's great skiers in the sport. We can go through them.
oh, there's so many.
Colin Cook, Tyler Smesdrew, Lane Schuler, Lane Felddyson, Kevin Wilder.
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm.
Even before my time.
Aaron
Yeah.
Griffin,
Aaron
Cody
Griffin,
Smith,
Cody
Toby
Smith.
McIntosh.
Right.
Like, but I don't think. But
the Hall of Famers. We're talking about
Yeah.
the overall mentality now and how it's possibly shifting the landscape,
Yeah.
like you were saying.
there's never been anyone that is like the prep and the professional athlete
Right.
level the Jim is at. That I'm aware of. I don't think there's ever been another skier.
Well, it's
that
gonna bring us all to a different level.
Right.
Because
I
we're
think
gonna
it's
be
gonna-
pushing it. We're gonna be looking for, more professional skiers.
Right.
Yep.
And we want to continue to compete at that level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember when we were in Driggs 2 years ago when Jim and I took 11 out of the 12 checks. We were there and we were getting ready to do
Have
our
to plug
run.
that one again.
And, well, I don't know. So, but we were getting ready to do our run and he told me to send it. And I was on Juicy Fruit. And I was like, are you sure? Like, what about the blue down on the end? You sure you'll be able to get around it? And he looked right at me. And Jim is not cocky at all. Like, Jim is very humble. And he looked right at me and he said, Richard, if anyone can make it, it's me. And I was like, I hear you. And we sent it and he made it.
Now, wait, was that the run he blew one of his skis off and finished the race with one
No,
ski?
it was not.
That was the same weekend, though.
Correct. It was not that
That
run,
was
though.
Driggs.
Yeah, that's, Driggs is where I think it all really came together for both you and Jim.
Yeah.
I
It
agree.
really started to,
Yeah.
get in sync. And, fortunately, you got a really good warm-up guy. And run order is very important
Yeah.
with this.
Run order is important.
Run order, and
We
you
can
have,
talk about that a little
I mean,
bit.
you've been very lucky in your run order lately.
My run order in Bozeman wasn't good.
It was too.
I had to run first on Sunday.
You won.
That just goes back to the
means
case of good
you had
clean
the
living
good-
paying off,
yeah,
Dennis.
right. You had the.
So when we talk about run order, and we talk about team, let's two things. Quickly, I want to talk about why you think run order is so important. as far as teams, as far as a skier being with multiple top riders? What does run order have to do with anything?
Well, I would say, as the day progresses, every time that skier gets, a shot at those gates, they get a little bit more confident and stronger. Now, the flip side of that is if, conditions deteriorate, where you can get warm temperatures and
The track is slowing
the
down.
track starts slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, the horse track gets deep. That's when those guys that went first are at more an advantage.
Well, and I want to jump in really quick right there on that line. So that is something where, as this sport is evolving, now that we are running on more man-made snow, your footing is staying way better throughout the day, and run order does not play as big of a role as it used to on as far as the horse goes. I think every team has a more fair shake at it, because the courses don't fall apart as
Now,
fast.
hold on a sec, because you both ski now. So, for those of you who don't know, Dennis Alverson is like how many buckles? Unbelievable, folks. I'm so sorry. What time are we at?
You want to turn that off?
9 minutes? Oh, we're crushing it. So for those of you who don't know, Dennis Alverson is, I don't know, probably the most buckled switcheroo
I'd like to take that.
competitor
I'd like to take that credit.
with
yeah.
your daughter. Yeah. So Dennis
Yeah.
skis with his daughter in the switcheroo, and Richard is the biggest sandbagger in the sport and actually skis in the novice still. And he's
100%.
he's got a ton of buckles. And so as skiers, do you think, this is my point, sorry to throw the sandbag comment at you, do you think you get to ski that track once and your second time, you're like, I got it now, send it? Like there has to be an aspect of that for these open skiers as well, or no?
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, there's no question. The first time you pull your skier, if your run order, if you're like first out or second out with a new skier, as a rider, I mean, we're like, boy, do I need to check? Do I need to move my horse as much? What about that corner? Can I cut that corner, or do I got to go deep? And you don't really learn that until you start seeing other competitors. And then as the competition goes on, everybody gets more confident.
Totally.
And we just start sending it at the end.
Yeah.
And that's where it's real important to have a horse track that holds up.
Totally.
Correct.
That'll make that competition fair.
Yeah, well, and to go back to the original question there with the run order, typically on races, let's say there's 20 teams in the open. You start on Saturday, you run from team 1 down to team 20, and then on Sunday you start at team 20 and you run back up to team 1. So ideally, the very best place to be is right there in the middle of the pack. If you can be between team 7 and 13, because then your skiers get warm-up runs both days.
The episode you guys touched on, what percentage was the rider, skier,
Yeah.
and horse?
A little bit, yeah.
And
Nuance percentages,
I think the riders fell pretty short in your opinion.
in your opinion.
Well, it depends on the track.
Well-
A 5% comment from the rider, what I heard, on some tracks, I would say that is 100% true.
Like what tracks?
Leadville.
Okay, so
As fast
straight
as you
track,
can go, straight down the middle.
and it's easy to
My
ski.
horses could run that track faster without me. If I got them started, I guarantee it, my skiers will get a time, and they would be faster than if I was on that horse.
What
I
about
promise
stopping?
you. Well, they're not going to stop, but they're going to get a time. But it's like, in a course like that, yeah, I would say the riders.
So let's
5%,
let's
maybe
talk
10.
about one of the more demanding courses in the circuit, which is Ridgeway and Driggs, and what goes into getting your skier to the finish line.
Well, I mean, pre-run, inspection, super important.
Yeah.
And you should walk it with your skier. And you got to really determine where your horse position needs to be. And if you got a wide track with any curves and features, that horse better be in the right place or you're going to run him out of rope. So that's where the rider is very important when it comes into that dynamic.
So running out of rope is more or less the issue the skier is going to have if the rider isn't doing their job.
Correct.
Yeah, and the skier still has to be doing his job, but the rider can really, really help. I have had Jim tell me and I've had Tyler tell me, I've had multiple skiers tell me, their fastest runs of the weekend were their easiest runs before.
Right.
And it's
you're on
because
the right
I
line.
give them so much and run corners so deep or shift over so much that the fastest time was their easiest run. And I have heard that multiple times before.
Interesting.
And if you hear something like that, like, you're riding your ass off. You know, but not all tracks are made for you to even be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like in Red Lodge, you will have skiers that if you run it deep and your horse is faster than the other horses, your skier will have the top time, and I can promise you that skier will say that was their easiest run of the weekend and it was their fastest time. Rather than the guy that has the slower horse, he goes out, he cuts the hell out of the corner, and the skiers are fighting for survival at the knot, about to die.
Yeah,
and
they
they're
don't
half
stand
second
a
out.
chance.
No.
I mean, if you cut that corner too deep,
Right.
they're just out of rope.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
on the flip side of this, the rider comes into play there a lot with the horsemanship.
Oh,
because
fact.
a lot of riders that hang on the face of the horse, they're slowing the horse down, and that horse, starts complaining. If you got a horse that moves off your leg, he is going to be in sync with you and running and not, getting yanked by the
Right.
face. So, I mean, there's a lot more credit that needs to go to the rider here that I'm not really
Well,
seeing,
in your opinion.
in my opinion.
So, who are your this year? You are riding Looking for Luck
And Frank.
Franks and Beans.
Yep, they're my main two. I
Yeah.
got some others that are backups, but they're not as fast. And
Right.
I'm pretty much at 2 horses this year. So
And you're running,
I got Cocaine Bear, Jet Fuel Cowboy,
yeah.
and then I got Aussie, an upcoming horse that my daughter's running. And I've got this other horse that I've had for about 2 years, Bloodwagon, and he's a big boy. He's got some wheels.
Where, just quickly for the people at home, I know where that name comes from, but where does the name Bloodwagon come from?
Well, in the Mongol Derby, the medics drove around, and the vehicles that they drove were nicknamed the Blood Wagons. 'Cause they're out of 44 competitors, I think 12 of them ended up in it.
Oh,
I'm surprised there wasn't more.
yeah, honestly.
A fair amount of injury in that
Yeah.
race. But
So in closing, you two, what is going to be the next race where you two are competing together at?
Driggs.
Against
Silverton.
each other?
Oh, Silverton's first, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be racing against each other in Silverton, Driggs, Leadville, and probably Red Lodge.
Yeah.
Crazy you guys are both going to be in Leadville. Closing thoughts from you two to each other for the rest of the season, competition-wise. What are you guys looking forward to?
Well, I mean, I really enjoy having someone like Richard as a competitor because he pushes me, and for whatever reason, he just beats me by that much.
Well, you know,
But he's consistent about it.
well, you know, some might say that, you know, I've taught you, you know, everything you know about ski juring, but I've only told you about half of what I know.
Dennis, Richard, thank you so much. And stay in touch. We'll do the whole influencer thing. Like, subscribe, comment, share us with your friends. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll see you out there on the track.